Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope all of you are doing well. Want to welcome you to day 3 of the Halloween Horror 3. And for day 3, I ended up watching Popcorn. This was a first time watch for me. This was a film that came out in 1991, I believe. Yes. Um, I really enjoyed this movie. So, this is a horror and horror comedy, whatever you want to call it. But it's more horror than the comedy. But you do get some decent comedy in this, and I really enjoyed it. It was really entertaining. Had a lot of similarities to other films. The main lead in here, she was actually in the Robert Englund Phantom of the Opera film. So at first, when I was watching it, I was like, man, she looks familiar, but couldn't put two and two together until I looked at her IMDb page. But basically, the plot is you have these, I believe they're college students, and they are planning to do this all night horathon type of event. And they go to this rundown old theater, hasn't been used in years, and this is where they're going to have their their horathon, and they're gonna go all out, playing some old like classic creature features from like the 40s and 50s, and they have all these effects to go along with it, especially with the movies that they're watching. Well, of course, there's this killer that is in the theater, and he's able to, kind of like a master of disguise, is able to disguise himself. And we do get a little backstory on the main lead and this villain and the connection between the two. We do get a twist in the film, but to me personally, I felt like the twist should have happened more closer to the end. I would say probably mid movie, we already know what's going on, and then we kind of get the idea of who the killer is, and then it goes in a almost completely different direction from there. But it worked, I guess, and it was really entertaining and enjoyable. Not a whole lot of characters that get taken out throughout the film, just a couple, which is not very often in horror films. Pretty much you have like that one or two survivors. So I thought it was pretty interesting that they decided to change up some things here. And I thought the score was really good. This Blu-ray, I will say, looks really good. Like the whole atmosphere, I thought was fantastic. And I've always been a fan of like the old school theaters. There was just so much room and space and places you could pretty much hide. Just the whole feel to it is just absolutely wonderful. And the actress from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is in this. I don't know if her name's going to be on here. It is, let's see if I can find it. Uh, I believe it's Kelly Jo Minter, I believe is her name. Um, but yeah, she's in this. You've got Dee Wallace. I don't know what it is about the 80s, but a lot of, women had the short hair. It must have been one of those ongoing, like, 80, ongoing, trends of the 80s. I mean, women with short hair, you had the curly curls. I mean, they just looking back at like the fashion and for the 80s in general, and people make a big deal about smoking pot. Like, come on now. But that's just my opinion. That's a whole different video. But yeah, Dee Wallace has the short hair in here. At first, I didn't recognize her. But once you got like a close up of her, then you realized, oh yeah, that's Dee Wallace. Um, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Definitely different than what I was originally expecting. And I always remember this cover at the mom and pop rental store I used to go to. This is one of those movies where I was always fascinated about the cover, always stood out, but I never actually saw the movie, which is crazy to even think. Um, yeah, but all in all, just a really entertaining film. Now, there are some special features. I have yet to check those out. Sometime down the road, I will check them out when I decide to do a review on the format and the release itself. But for a first time watch and for my Halloween Horror 3, I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So, yeah, if you've seen Popcorn, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinion. And if you enjoyed my thoughts on it in this review, give it a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. If you guys would like to take time out and check out my eBay store, the link will be down in the description below. I actually have a birthday coming up, so I'm hoping to make some sales. So if anything sells, I can put those towards my birthday fund. Put those funds towards that. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be able to continue this next year. I pretty much am getting close to going through all the horror titles that I have. I've done Halloween horror for the past 2 years. This is the third year, and I'm hoping things will start to look up with eBay and YouTube, and I can start getting more horror films to add to the collection because there's so many coming out. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in today. Getting a little ahead of myself. Thank you for tuning in to day 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep an eye out for day 4 tomorrow. But with that being said, I'm Film Talk with Mikey. Till next time, guys, we'll talk films. You guys take care, and I will see you next time.